May has not been easy, that's for sure.
Yeah, I had a nice start to the month, and then the other 2 weeks were a little bit like I came out green, but it was a lot of back and forth. Today was probably one of the best trading days we've had in a while. It feels like.
Yeah, it definitely felt a little hotter today than yesterday, at least.
Yeah. Yes.
Yesterday was a nightmare. Yesterday was like,
Yeah.
oh, it was so bad, so slow.
I couldn't wait for it to be over. Yeah, I
Yeah.
stopped kind of early yesterday. I was like, man, I'm not making any progress. I was up and down so much, and then I had to crawl out of a huge hole, and then I was basically back to break even. I said, let's screw it. I'm calling it here.
And bot wasn't really too bad. It was just favored the midday traders.
Yeah.
That's what I was just going to say. I'm noticing that as well. Like the last week or week and a half, almost every day, I am red until like 10:30 Eastern, and then finally something picks up.
Yeah.
Like today, I went negative 1,300 to now I'm finally at plus almost 2,100. So a really solid day. But I've noticed that I've consistently been having a drawdown in the morning.
It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.
Yeah. Taking this on SHPH.
Tommy, are you in that now?
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah. I mean, it's not looking bad on the longer time frames, like 5-minute and 15-minute charts over 250. Not looking bad. SHPH is tricky. SHPH pretty much entirely is the reason that I was red like 9 grand in September. It just was like impossible to trade day after day. I just kept taking losses on it. Today I'm pretty solidly green on it. So it owes me some money.
It owes me. That's the right attitude.
Here's 250. Yeah. Where's my money?
I didn't even get that nice breakout at one time was like 10:25 or so. I could share my screen. I'm not trading right now.
That's where I was trading it, I think. So there's 250.
Oh yeah, there we go. Okay.
Pretty solid break.
Not too bad. You got a little bit of that small size, but I added a little profit on the top.
Yeah, it was really nice. I had that perfect micro pullback, that 1-minute pullback on the 5-minute breakout. Those are always reliable setups, as long as the 5-minute is green and strong.
When someone shares their screen, is there a way to have Zoom not go full screen mode? Initially?
Maybe.
I think you have to go to view. Go to view in the top right. Might be one of those.
Do you want to share your screen, or should I just keep sharing mine?
No, you can share it.
There you go.
I was just curious because whenever someone shares their screen initially, it goes the Zoom window just goes full screen.
That's annoying.
Which is not ideal when you're looking at a chart or in a trade potentially.
Yeah, absolutely not. That's like the worst.
Yeah.
I just have mine on a different screen, and I guess I don't even notice because whatever happens is on that screen. I don't notice so much.
I would like to do that, but number one, I don't really need another screen. I have my trading computer here, which is a Windows laptop. I have my MacBook Pro here, which my MacBook Pro I have connected to my external monitor right there. Whereas that's all my extra charts and scanners and stuff. I don't really have anything else that I would connect to my Windows laptop here.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, too many screens is also not a good thing.
Yeah.
At my home, I have 4 screens, including my laptop, but they're all small screens, so they're all like laptop size screens. And so I put 2 vertically and then 2 horizontal.
Danny, how many orders do you usually have like on a regular day?
Trades or like executions?
Well, I heard something about like yet after like a certain amount of orders per day, like TD kind of ups the fees per trade.
Yeah, I've gotten that notice a couple of times. So it's 390.
390.
Um,
Is that orders or fills or
that is orders and canceled orders. So like if you're on
Oh, wow.
TD and you look at that filled orders row where it says orders and fills, they're not counting fills because that's on their end. The total number of orders that you send to the market and the number of canceled orders, that has to stay under 390 on average. Or if you're over that consistently for a little while, they'll send you a message and they'll tell you you have to get back under that because I guess they just can't sustain that many orders without charging for it, which doesn't make sense to me because they're making money on the orders that we send to the
It
market.
doesn't make any sense.
But yeah, I've gotten that notice a few times and it's something that you just have to be aware of and keep in mind. I get kind of frustrated when I do go over it because that's a pretty solid number of orders. And it pretty much always just feels like over trading to me now at this point when I'm past that.
yeah.
Today was a pretty good day as far as like how much I traded. I'm at 257 orders and 28 canceled orders. Yesterday though, I know I think just over 500 combined. Yeah, yesterday I overtraded.
That's a lot of stabs.
Yeah, it was frustrating. It was MBOT, the whole thing. I traded I always don't know how to count it, but I bought and sold like 490,000 shares of MBOT yesterday. So like almost 1 million shares total just of MBOT.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was really frustrating.
What was your average size?
Like probably 3,000-ish.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Would you think about then opening up like another account under TD and just kind of switching it?
I think that doesn't work. I think that they pay attention to that.
Oh, geez. You'd have to open a different broker then.
Well, but like there aren't any better pros and cons for other brokers that I've found, at least for me, the way that I trade.
Yeah. I've also been in that search, that broker soul searching. And I kind of agree with Danny, like TD still offers like as much as there's like a love-hate relationship because yesterday TD crashed on me in the middle of one of my trades. I restarted it.
Ooh.
And I took like a $300 loss by the time I was able to close my trade. And it was just like,
that sucks.
Yeah, it makes you so frustrated. But yeah,
Did
I mean,
you contact them or anything?
No, I didn't this time. Usually I do, but I didn't feel like being on the phone for like 2 hours and getting frustrated.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it depends on the loss. Like, obviously that's their fault, but you have to weigh your time against it. And that's not that big of a loss. So,
yeah, I think I was able to crawl out of the hole and who knows what would have happened if I ended up calling them and getting more frustrated. I remember I was on the phone once with them for like 5-something hours, just constantly being redirected. Sometimes like their support can be really good if you get the right person. I've had some amazing support sessions with them, but then I've had some like nightmare support sessions. So I don't know, it's a hit or miss. And I just wasn't ready to, I wasn't ready to go down that road yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is with your strategy, you could actually probably be profitable in Lightspeed, but I could not be profitable in Lightspeed just because of the amount of trades that I do.
Same with me. I could be profitable in Lightspeed, but it would be a lot harder. And it would have to be like a good solid month. Like April, I made 26,000-ish and I did the math. I think maybe last time we were on, but I would have paid like 10,000 of that in fees and commissions. It's like, that's insane.
That is insane.
So
yeah, we were talking about
thinking about that and then thinking about using TD or any other broker. I'm like, yeah, TD is still okay.
Yeah.
it doesn't cost $10,000 of my month to use.
Yeah, it's too much when I watch some of Ross's videos and he's like, yeah, I made like a 1,500 today, but I'm probably break even based on my fees. I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, I can't deal with that mentally. I've actually tried Lightspeed twice.
Yeah.
Over the years. I've tried Lightspeed, came back to TD, tried Lightspeed, came back to TD. The last time I tried Lightspeed was I think a year and a half ago, and I'm not going to go back to it at this point because it just doesn't make any sense for me.
Yeah, it's too expensive.
It's way too expensive. Like, I'm not working for the broker. It's insane. It's hard enough to, like, unless you trade like that, you're looking for like 1 or 2 or 3 trades per day, and that's it. Like 10, 20, 30 executions maybe, and you're using at least 1,000 or 2,000 shares on each of those trades.
Yeah.
I can't see how the benefits
Probably more than 1,000
outweigh.
or 2,000. Ross does
Yeah.
10,000 for a starter sometimes.
Well, and also the thing is, like, having used Lightspeed multiple times now, I can tell you that the fills aren't any better if the liquidity isn't there.
Yeah.
I still got partial fills. They just happened really quickly. So if the liquidity isn't there, you're still going to get issues with fills and slippage. So, and now I'm using TD with DOS, and it's the best of all worlds that I've found. And actually, anecdotally, obviously, there's no way to actually prove it because I can't at the exact same time take the same exact trade using DOS and TD. I do notice that I get better fills when I send my orders through DOS instead of ThinkorSwim.
Yeah.
And some of the other guys in our group think that as well, and think that it's because specifically ThinkorSwim is a really old code architecture, whereas DOS is much newer and lighter. So they're both platforms, interfaces that you're sending an order to TD to then send to the market, and DOS does it quicker.
Yeah, I could see that. And
you
you
guys
don't have to
watching
deal with the
SHPH
platform
right now?
crashing, which
SHPH doesn't look too bad.
I know you guys are both like staring at the screen. I'm looking at it too, but
does
just tell.
Danny, does DOS crash on you, or do you have like issues with orders sometimes?
I think that I can say that DOS has never crashed on me. I think ever. I started using it in October, and I've had maybe 1, potentially 2 issues, small issues with delayed order fills in that time.
That's probably fine.
Obviously across like many thousands of trades.
Yeah, you trade much quicker than I do. So yeah, I mean, it does seem like going to DOS might be a good option because first of all, TD Ameritrade does crash quite often. I get really nervous sometimes trading on TD. And then second of all, you see the halt information that we talked about a few pods ago.
Yeah.
And I think those 2 reasons alone look, now I have a thumbs up. Those 2 reasons alone seem to me like very compelling. But with Lightspeed, it's just, it's too expensive. And it's kind of ironic because, Tom was saying like, it might make sense for me since I trade a little bit slower, or I do less trades, but at the same time, then why would I switch over to Lightspeed? Because it's all about trading
That's
fast.
What I'm thinking too. Like, you don't need instant executions.
Yeah. It's almost like contradicting. Like, you want to trade less, but you use the platform so you can trade faster. So it's like
right. So you can trade less faster.
That's a slippery slope.
Well, the thing is with DOS, I heard a lot of negative reviews, which is because of the connection between TD and DOS. Sometimes it just like, I guess, disconnects randomly. Does that ever happen to you?
Like, again, once or twice, I think, which for using it for 7 or 8 months now across the number of trades I've taken with it, I think is like pretty much totally acceptable.
Yeah. Okay.
As far as like degree of error, and I think that I could pretty confidently say I had at least as many issues using only ThinkorSwim as I do using ThinkorSwim and DOS, or TD and DOS. So, and then the benefits with DOS for me greatly outweigh that in terms of like noticing that I get better fills frequently and more advanced hotkeys that have been able to get me out of trades for more profit or for less of a loss many times. It's definitely worth it for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if it makes sense so much for like a very beginning trader because it is $120 a month.
Yeah.
But if you're making some profit and looking to increase your edge, or if it makes sense for how you trade, I think it definitely is worth a try.
Yeah. I was thinking about it. I like the ability to be able to scale out in half.
Yeah.
You just do like half and then half of that and then half of, I keep hitting sell half, sell half, sell half.
Yeah. I have my hotkeys set to sell third.
Whoa. Okay.
If you need a cure for FOMO, that's it.
Yeah.
Or like
that is exactly it.
This is how SHPH took $9 grand or $7 grand from me in September.
Oh my God.
It's still not a good stock. I just was green on it today.
This is why you don't want to overtrade. Yeah. Honestly,
yeah, exactly.
When I saw this, I was already like, maybe it's done. But then I was thinking, we've had so many recoveries after false breakouts, so that I figured we'll see one more or two more moves. But yeah,
exactly.
This definitely spooks a lot of traders. Last question about DOS. Do I need to fund the DOS account, or technically it's using the TD Ameritrade account? So
no, you literally just link it to your TD account. So it uses it's just completely linked with your TD account. It uses whatever funds you have in that.
Yeah, that sounds really straightforward.
It's literally just like ThinkorSwim as far as executing trades. And the connection with your TD account. It's just that you execute your trades through DOS. So I can share. I've shared before, but since we're talking about
level 2 looks way nicer than TD as well. I do like that.
Yeah,
it's a little bit smoother, and the colors makes it a little bit easier to differentiate.
Put myself over here. Yeah, exactly. Like it's actually usable. So let's see. Chart. So this is just TD. And actually the DOS charts are pretty legit.
SHPH, man.
Yeah, the
DOS charts are very smooth.
Might have to trade this.
Wow, SHPH just came right.
But like you can see the time and sales and the level 2, they update like very staggered. It's like there's a refresh rate on them. Whereas on this, you can see the bursts come in as they come in. There's no refresh rate on them that I can tell. So it makes me more confident in what I'm seeing. And then also, especially over time, you really start to develop pattern recognition with it in a way that you just can't with TD. Because I can see like a burst of color or a burst of activity or something on time and sales or level 2. And like consciously, I don't have to realize anything, but subconsciously, I just understand in a moment what that means for the price action upcoming. And I like my fingers send the hotkey orders for me is maybe the best way to put it. Like I don't have to think and act on that thought of like the chart looks like this now, so I should take the trade. It's like I just recognized a certain activity here and then I'm in the trade or I'm out of the trade.
Yeah.
But yeah, like obviously you can see I've got all these different color gradients, as different as could be here. And I've got my halt levels, whereas on ThinkorSwim, it's just like blue.
It's terrible. It's terrible. I don't even use it. I just use the ladder.
Yeah, I don't
exactly. When I was just with ThinkorSwim, I didn't rely on time and sales at all. I didn't rely on level 2 at all. I used the ladder.
Yeah.
But it's kind of only like half the story.
Yeah.
So, and then again, even level 2 on DOS, you can see it. There's no like refresh rate. It just, when an order is sent or pulled from the market or filled or whatever, level 2 updates. So
when you're ready to like time like a breakout or time a dip, are your eyes at the tape, the TOS ladder, or the level 2 DOS?
It depends. I think mostly looking at the chart and time and sales and I'm split between the DOS level 2 and the ladder, because I don't know if you guys have this issue too on the ThinkorSwim ladder, where sometimes it just, so like right here at 61.32, you can't see the bid. It hides the bid for some reason.
Yeah.
Like every now and then the bid just like, it doesn't disappear from the market, but it disappears from the ladder. Like for some reason, it just doesn't show it.
Yeah, it's super frustrating.
Like right there. So you can see on DOS, there's this bid at 59, and a second ago on the ladder, it just wasn't showing it. So I go back and forth. When things are moving really quickly, at least to the downside, usually I'm watching the ladder to see if there's a seller pushing the price down and that seller is thinning out. But if the ladder stops showing information, then I'm looking at level 2.
Yeah.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense. I was doing some research with Toby about, would it be worth kind of coding our own halting thing so we could see the information. And just to add to the value of DOS, it's actually quite expensive to get real-time market data.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to code that yourself, like private use, I think is like $400 or $500. And then if you have any sort of licenses, it goes over $900 and then to like $3,000 really quickly.
Per year?
Yeah, per month. It's
month.
really expensive. So
yeah, Ross always talks about how expensive the data is.
Yeah, the data is no joke.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is definitely pretty valuable, and especially for all that halt data, or because coding it yourself is just really expensive. Plus, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, and just to jump off on that is like, it definitely seems like DOS is more of like something if you're already profitable or intermediate trader.
Yeah,
you can kind of use that to kind of right. You're right. Boost your edge, your current edge, rather than you don't really need that to make money.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with a hard agree. I used ThinkorSwim alone for basically the first 3 years of my trading career, just until last October. And I started using it last October because I visited Ross in Massachusetts with a couple other guys, and 1, 2, 3 of them, three of the 6 of us total, not including me at that time, were using TD with DOS. And so I was like, you always want to try to do and these guys are more profitable than I am. They all have their $1 million badge. So you always want to try to be doing whatever.
You don't have your $1 million badge yet?
Not yet. I'm working on it.
Oh my God, you're not a millionaire yet?
I'm working on it. It's a work in progress. I'll have it soon, someday.
Yeah, you've been cleaning up this year, so it's.
I've been doing really good. Yeah, you've been definitely doing good. I mean,
I've been doing
since
well.
I've known you though, you've always been putting out big gains. So I didn't know you when you were small.
Well, I'm really happy with how I'm doing this year, because last year was just a nightmare the entire year. I think that I made like $6,000 total in the year, and it got so bad at one point last fall that I just completely stopped paying attention to numbers because I was afraid of going red on the year. And I think that I did a really good job of taking lessons away from that, mainly breaking bad habits that I had into doing much, much better this year. And then also just really leaning into my own strategy, which has never been buying breakouts for the breakout. It's always been reading price action well and buying dips. And if that leads into a dip that pushes back up through highs, then I can add into the breakout.
Yeah.
But yeah, that took a while to get to.
Yeah.
That's definitely the next stage of trading. I've also realized is like when you stop, like you go through a phase where you're trying to listen to everyone, learn from everyone, and then you might narrow down to 1 or 2 or 3 people. And then at one point you're just like, if I want to get to the next level, I need to only think about my trading at this point.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think I can relate to that as well. I started out with like Tim Sykes and We're Trading and Relentless Trader and Mighty Stocks. Like I watched literally all of those guys, just trying to copy their strategies. And it seemed like I was able to get green. It seemed like I was able to like learn that and start to like actually make money.
Yeah.
But like I didn't know. I had no idea which setup was my setup, like which one that produced the most reward for me.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
That only until like when I stopped watching Warrior Trading daily on those pre-market and open live streams. I used to watch those every single day, which I did learn a lot. But at a certain point, you have to drop that, and you have to just focus on what you're doing.
I completely agree with that. Was it? I know we were talking about this last week too, but like, especially when you're having a hard time, going to different books and like studying more and looking at different strategies and stuff is something that feels normal to do, to learn more or get out of that period. But really, probably the best thing to do is, especially if you have been profitable before or you know that you have some edge, is really just focus in and lean into that edge, because it's not like you're missing information or like you're going to read something in a book that is just going to completely turn your trading around. As far as like technical analysis or volume analysis, something like that. I would say that the Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas definitely has some good mental stuff in it. But as far as like trying to study other people and emulate what they're doing, you're going to definitely fall into whatever works best for you. And you have to try doing what other people are doing that are having success and see if it works for you too. But everybody has their own specific like trading personality.
Yeah.
I'm seeing if I read that book. I think I did, Mike Douglas.
It's a classic. It's actually the only trading book that I've read.
There's some good, I've always gotten more value out of like non-trading. Yeah, I've read this one.
Yeah.
I was just trying to remember like certain parts, but I feel like sometimes I get more value out of non-trading books than actually trading books.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Like the Quit book or even David Goggins, which I just finished today. I mean, that guy's such a freaking animal.
He's an interesting character for sure.
Oh my God. I never really thought, to be honest, like when I just saw I don't know, him on YouTube or something, I was like, I didn't get it. I was like, oh, okay, like nice. He does like long races and stuff, but I didn't know his backstory. And then now that I read basically his biography, I'm like, holy crap.
I don't know his backstory and all of that.
He just came from a really, really broken family, very abusive family, had a really tough upbringing in a fairly racist area. He basically just had the hardest life. And then he, tried to become a Navy SEAL. He had to lose a bunch of weight for that. That's like where his weight story comes in, from like almost 300 pounds to like under 200. And then he didn't get through, so he had to do it 3 more times, which I don't know if anyone's ever done that. And like 2 times he broke his leg or something. That's why he had to stop. There's so much crazy stuff. And then after that, he's, serving, and he's doing, he keeps wanting to push himself further. So he keeps doing like these insane races where some of them he almost dies on. I mean, these are like insane, ridiculous races that are like 24 days long or 24 hours long, over 100 miles, some of them, and like through insane terrain. I don't know what, like how he pushes himself so hard and so much. He has like multiple world records, like pull-ups, most pull-ups in 24 hours. And like things happen to your body at that point, like, you know, at like hour, 15. Oh, like he was like, you could see like my muscle, like my hands are basically fully coming apart. Like,
Yeah.
dude, it's pretty nasty what he pushes himself through. Cause yeah.
I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. Like, it's good to be able to mentally handle that, but also like why? And
for him it's a self-discovery thing. Everyone's got to figure out their own why, and he's definitely not recommending anyone else to do what he does, but it is interesting to see what he does, because he's really just breaking like what anyone thought would be humanly possible. So I think that's why it's really interesting to follow him. But yeah, I'm not about to do what he's doing for sure.
Yeah, I get that mentality, like the underdog kind of mentality, and pushing yourself to see how far you can go and also show other people what you can do. But there's obviously mental issues with that are pushing that.
Yeah, he's
like
also admitted
people don't do that.
Yeah, he's said like, before, when he was like in his 30s and early 40s, he'd often like push other people over the edge, and he's probably created a lot of enemies, he said, especially in the military, because he would give people shit if they weren't pushing it to the max and things like that. But he's reflected a lot. He's had like multiple near-death experiences, but there was one, I think in his late 30s, where he was basically, all right, this is it, I'm dead. And he like really reflects hard in those moments, and then somehow he survived. So he's had like a lot of deep reflection moments, and he talks about them in his book, and I just found it very insightful. But yeah, I mean, you try to think like, how can I take away some of this stuff, and what can I take away from those lessons? And there's probably more in the tank. I think that's a big lesson. He says like, when you're done and you think your like body's falling apart, he's like, you're just at 40% is what he said.
I was gonna say, yeah, you're probably halfway there.
Yeah, you're like halfway there. So it's like, if, just like in trading, if like you think some of these tickers are dead, like SHPH, or you're kind of done trading, you just got to give it that extra hour, and sometimes that really cleans it up, or you don't. You got to know when to quit too. So I don't know, these books are really interesting, just to think about your own life and how you could use that information.
Yeah definitely valuable. I think that sort of mindset helps more with like studying, like your study time, and like those early days where it's just like feels like you're never gonna be able to make money doing this. I mean, I know if I had days like that, I just felt like this was impossible. And there was like, for a good year, I was like, everyone who's making money it's fake. It's all fake. You can't.
I thought that too. Yeah.
Doing this. It's just a giant scam. Like, because I would lose money day after day after day for like, I mean, I'm sure disciplined day trader Colby has the same feeling sometimes. I mean, he's been struggling for like a couple of years now. But in those moments, I think the David Goggins sort of attitude helps you a lot to keep pushing, study harder, put more time into it, double down, and then double down again. And I think it helps more for that rather than instead of doubling down your share size.
Yeah, no, I agree. I've actually been kind of doing the opposite of what he's been saying in terms of trading. Like, I'll get green and get going. I call it like the 4G mindset, where I'm just like, because I started off this year, you guys know, where I just kept, maybe making 1,500 and then spending the rest of the day going to max loss. And I was like, I just can't do that anymore. So like, I'm trying to call it. And, once I'm back into an insane flow in the market is there, then I have no problem trading those extra 2 hours. But right now, that's not my focus. And you know what, that's been doing really well for me. Just locking in those profits.
You can't neglect like the market, because I guess the market is bigger than you, like we say, and
Yeah.
you have to respect it, and you can't just be like a David Goggins type of mindset with trading, and you're just pushing through when the market's not there, and you're just losing more and more money, getting more frustrated.
That's exactly
You
it.
can't really bring that mindset in that sort of situation. So there's still like a huge amount of self-awareness when taking, that sort of approach.
Yeah.
Yeah, the self-awareness is huge. I've gone red to green many times I've talked about this before, but I don't have a max loss because it doesn't make sense for me. A lot of people in the chat today went red to green. I did too. I went solidly red to more solidly green, but it takes a lot of, you can't just have a like a David Goggins type mentality if the market isn't still there. Like if things are still moving, then yeah, absolutely, I'm going to be aggressive and work on crawling out of the hole that I dug myself, or whatever the situation was. But that's where the self-awareness comes in, and honesty. Like, is this actually something that's still worth trading, or am I likely to just lose more money at this point?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. There's something I've been doing. I kind of talked about it maybe like 6 pods ago or something, but basically every hour, every section of the trading day, so like pre-market, so it's like at 6:50, what's the market doing, how am I doing? And then at pre-market, at the end of pre-market, what's the market doing, like indexes, gappers, and then how am I doing? How do I feel, how's my P&L? And then I do that at the end of market open, and then late morning trading. And then at any point where I start feeling like my expected value is going negative, maybe the tickers are drying up, maybe all I'm thinking about is my running P&L as opposed to the tickers I'm trading. When too much is starting to go red, I'll call it. And that's made me very mindful of my trading. And it's made a big difference just to take that step back, kind of write it down, put your thoughts on paper, and then get back to trading. I really enjoyed that exercise. I've been doing it for now, maybe 8 weeks or so.
I think mindfulness is probably, it has to be close to the top skill for being able to be good at trading.
Yeah.
Whether
it almost feels like your P&L on the day always reflects about like how you feel.
Yeah,
inside.
Absolutely.
Like, are you feeling like calm, content with everything, your daily life, your life outside of trading? And then it's just a matter of like how to induce that in yourself. And I do talk about this in my most recent videos. Like a lot of very successful traders, if you study what they're doing outside of trading, is they're not always like doing something so in your head, trading so in your head. They also have like other activities that get you into your body. And it seems like that you can keep that balance. You kind of have that, you can kind of find that state of calm, collected, and more disciplined trading when you do trade. So it kind of does seem like that if you can find that groove, your P&L always reflects how you're feeling inside.
Yeah, that's super true. I'm actually just booked a surf trip and go to Peniche, Portugal for 2 weeks in June. And I'm really excited because, with this trading, it's always like, how are you doing? But then it's like really almost more important. Well, not more importantly, but like, how's the market doing? And I always compare it to trading, and I find or to surfing. I find it the perfect example where it's like, you might want to surf like super bad, but if there's no waves, you can't surf. So
yeah.
I went surfing 2 weeks ago, actually for the first time in like a little over a year, because we just had a really, really lame last like year of waves and swell. We just didn't have anything.
And it happens.
The day 2 weeks ago when I went surfing, there was still no swell, but I caught like 2.5 waves as well as they could have been caught. And it was still a nice day out there because at least it was sunny and we're on the California coast and it's beautiful and all that. But like, it's a little bit different in the market if there's no waves and you're just getting beat down and drowned and held underwater the whole time. It's not even pretty in the market. So
it's like there's no waves, but there's somehow you still get stuck in like ripped currents or something.
Yeah, exactly.
It's even worse than no waves.
There's no waves and a shark comes and attacks you.
Yeah, it's the ultimate crap. Which beach do you surf at?
It depends. Most often Bolinas, which is just north of San Francisco a little bit. Bolinas is probably, well, it's hard to say. Pleasure Point down in Santa Cruz is definitely my favorite. But you have to get the right conditions, and it gets super crowded because it's a really popular spot. And people can be a little bit local there, which I think is stupid, but
I know that. Yeah.
so Pleasure Point is on the right day is the best, but it's also a little further. Bolinas is probably like my average favorite, and Ocean Beach can be really fun too, again on the right day. I've gotten spooked out at Ocean Beach though one time.
You got what?
I got spooked.
Spooked. Shark.
No, I don't know if you've ever seen pictures of San Francisco's Ocean Beach or like just seen it on a map, but
I'm looking
you're
at it
just
now.
you're in the ocean, just completely exposed. Like obviously you are when you're surfing in general, but like a lot of the breaks have some sort of point or something that's forming the waves that you're like not just as far out there. That one day at Ocean Beach, I wasn't catching waves on the inside or the first break, and so I saw waves breaking further out, so I paddled out like past the second break all the way to the third break. Past the third break, I was like a couple 100 yards offshore at that point, and I know that there are sharks there. I've seen them on videos, and I was just like completely alone, no one around me. I had paddled out way far, and I just had this moment where I was like, I am alone in the ocean, floating on this small 8-foot little floaty board. And I did not like that at all.
Yeah.
So I paddled back in as quickly as I could.
This is Pleasure Point here. Yeah. So is this kind of what you're referring to? Like these sets and
yeah, look at how pretty that is.
Yeah, that's intense though. Yeah. I usually when I surf in Florida, like it's a lot of beach breaks, so you're not out that far.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of point breaks in the area here, and that's probably mostly it. Yeah. Ocean Beach isn't a point break, obviously, but it's just like a lot of water coming in from deeper.
Oh, well, that's like, is it here, Valentine's?
What are you looking for?
Valentine's Beach.
Bolinas?
Oh, Bolinas. Oh, I spelled it wrong. That's why.
Yeah, BOL. BOLIN. BOL. Like boy.
Boy.
B.
Oh.
BOL. Yeah, there you go. Bolinas. But not in Illinois.
Yeah. Beach.
NAS. Yeah, there you go. The first one.
Okay.
It's up there.
Oh, that's
just across from Stinson Beach.
That's
so crazy. You can see like you're not just completely in the middle of the ocean there. There's a bit of a point break coming in.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And it's really pretty out there.
Oh man, I can't wait for some surfing.
Yeah.
Nice. I don't want to get too off topic, but I think you can learn a lot from the surfing and just sports in general.
Yeah. There's like the reason that we got into it is because there's a lot of analogies that you can take away from other content, like other types of books, other sports, where you have to basically be mindful of what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, be mindful. That's what it's all about. Is anyone still trading?
No,
I'm
trying to make sure that I don't keep trading because I haven't over traded yet, and I'm sitting at my high of day profit, and I started the day pretty solidly decent red, and now I'm more solidly decent green. So there's a lot of reasons that I shouldn't take any more trades.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good.
Yeah,
we got CWBR trying to break here. It's making a little bit of a flag.
No way. CWBR is one of the two stocks that I'm red on that started my day off wrong.
Oh no.
Do you trade, Danny, do you trade at 9:30, like the first minute?
I love to. Yeah, when things
That's
are
the
actually
best.
working well, but they
The
haven't
first
been.
dip.
You
Yeah,
guys are
exactly.
First dip of the
animals.
market is the best.
Exactly. Almost always. I
Yep.
mean, the last two or 3 weeks or so have not been good at all at the open, but when things are having more success at the open, like setting up trades, almost always when volume comes in, you get just like a
Mhm.
couple cents dip, like 5 cents, take the position, and then
Yep.
10, 15, 20 cent rip. And then you
Yep.
sell and it comes back down, and then you can decide what to do from there. But
Yep. Almost every single day. Yesterday at NBOT was
yeah,
a really nice setup.
I got that
Went
one.
right
Yeah.
down to like 175, and then in like 2 seconds, it's up at 195.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
That
guys are
was
junkies.
I made most of my profit on that, just that setup. And
Nice.
then I
Yeah.
was done on that red to green at like 10 a.m. And then I made that huge front side move for the whole day. I wasn't trading any of that, but just through those two setups, um, I was really nicely green.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like that. But you do have to be careful of right at the first 1 minute because sometimes it can get laggy. Today I had a sticky order on
I guess that's the power of DOS, huh? You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
I had a sticky
It
order on
depends.
CWBR and I lost 10 cents on it for like
Mhm.
just on the first opening candle. Kind of felt
Actually,
just didn't feel
I
good.
had a little bit of lag on CWBR at the open today as well on DOS. It just depends. I think
Yeah,
it depends a lot on TD's servers at the
I
open.
think
They
so. Yeah,
used to be a lot worse though.
Yeah, they were almost
usually, yeah.
untradeable for a while. Was
They
that in
were
2020?
untradeable for like the
No,
first 3 minutes of the market open for
Yeah,
like
yeah,
2020,
when
maybe
everyone
even.
wanted to be a day trader, it was
Yeah, yeah. That's probably why.
yeah.
Um, 2020, probably close to into 2021, I didn't trade at all for the first like 3 minutes of the market open because it was unusable.
Yeah.
yeah,
I even called them and I was asking about that. And they're like, there's something called the morning cross or something. And it's basically like the last 2 minutes and the first 2 minutes
Yeah,
after the market opens and before the market opens,
yeah,
there's different routing time periods. Like you have to send your last order, your last batches. And they said like often those time periods, there'll be a lot of skipped or lagged orders, especially in a busy market.
yeah.
So they even
yeah.
straight up told me they're like, it's best just not to trade the open.
Or how about you fix your junky stuff?
But it's not that junky because we're using it. We're making money.
Yeah,
It's a lot better
But
now.
I can't wait till like there's got to be at some point there's got to be a broker that's really tailored towards day traders that's actually affordable for like the beginner day trader or the intermediate day trader that's not making like 10,000 a
Yeah.
day.
There's I know some people use Webull and like it. I've never used it. It
The
seems like
problem is
that could be a
direct
good in between.
access.
I
yeah,
don't know if it is or not. I'm really interested to see what happens with like the continued integration with Charles Schwab and
Yeah.
TD. If I don't know if they're gonna. It kind of seems like they're not focused at all on continuing to develop ThinkorSwim. It has gotten more stable over the years, at least, but
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely agree. But who knows what's going to happen? I really hope nothing bad happens with TD or ThinkorSwim. But yeah,
I think that it has too many users to like go offline or something, anything like that. They make too much money from people trading using
yeah,
their platform to like nuke it, I think, or anything.
it's a massive asset. And you have a lot of
Yeah.
like older generation people. I know a lot of people like my dad and my dad's friends, they'll use TD Ameritrade as well. Obviously not for day trading, but it has a huge user base from multiple generations. I personally am not a big fan of like Webull and like a few other similar platforms like Moomoo for day trading. I think they're pretty great platforms for what they are, and they even allow like 4 to 7 a.m. trading and it, like
Mhm.
super extended hours. But I've tried to use it for day trading, and it's Yeah, I definitely prefer TD Ameritrade or ThinkorSwim over them. You'll see the speed in the order book and just kind of like how the whole application feels. Just moving things around. It's all like a little bit more laggy and stiff.
Yeah.
And the charts aren't nearly as nice. I think that's also a really big part. It has like this.
Yeah, that's the one thing
vibe.
I do notice sometimes a difference in update speed between the TD or the ThinkorSwim charts and like what DOS is showing on level 2. There's always like sometimes it's nearly unnoticeable, like very fluid, and sometimes there's like just a split-second difference between what I'm seeing going through on the tape and the ThinkorSwim chart updating.
Yeah. Who said it? I think Tom was quoting maybe Ross or someone where he's like the chart is the rear view mirror and the level 2 or the ladder is the the watching the road.
Yeah, that's sort of how I trade. I'm mostly, my eyes are glued to the active trader ladder. When I'm trading, it's glued to the active trader ladder, and I'm only occasionally glancing at the chart just to see. I mean, just to make sure that it's like either holding up or it has follow through, or if I'm observing and waiting for another setup. But when I'm ready to take a position, I have in my head the breakout point or the potential support point in my head, and I'm waiting for price to get there. Once it hits the ladder, hits that price in the ladder, I take my position and then looking to sell.
Yep.
Or add in some cases.
I'm pretty much the same too. I probably use the charts a little bit more. But yeah, the ladder
for the tape. And for the tape, I don't really look at the size of the orders. I'm mostly looking at like the color. If I just in my peripheral, if I just see like a lot of flash green right before a breakout, then I'm looking to take a starter and then add if it's holding up and then add into the breakout.
Yeah.
And then on the breakout, is there just a crap ton of red and the candle is getting stuffed into the high and the candle's going to close below the breakout point? Then I'm looking to either cut break even or take some off.
Yeah, same. One thing that I'll watch out for is like when there's a bunch of green going through, but the price isn't moving up. That's sometimes a red flag.
Yeah.
I definitely watch for that. And the opposite, when there's a lot of red going through, but it's not breaking down.
Yeah, that could be a nice little bear trap. Nice.
Or just there's hidden sellers in there or hidden buyers in there.
Someone's accumulating.
Yeah.
And for any beginners watching, the best way to learn those patterns through that pattern recognition is just reviewing your recordings every day. After every trading session, you review your recordings and you just get that pattern recognition. But it's definitely harder if you're not recording, it's harder to develop that pattern recognition because you have to have more iterations. You can't really get that iterations as fast because you're waiting on the market to provide them to you rather than just watching the recordings over and over.
You got to get those reps in. It's super valuable. And then even using on demand and like retrading a ticker is quite helpful. The hotkeys don't work. And also something else doesn't work. I think the order book is a little weird. I don't know. There was something else, but it is nice just to like practice with bigger size and just practice just in general, forcing yourself to.
Yeah.
It's just another iteration, really.
Yeah.
Getting those reps in. What's your guys' plans going forward this week? Anything different?
Well, I've been on like a sort of a theme of not trading pre-market. It's just my statistics are just not worth it. It causes me more stress for like a small amount of money, and then by the time the market opens, like I'm already like
fatigued,
kind of worked up. And I can't really perform as well. So the past like 3 weeks, I haven't been trading pre-market, and I'm making just as much money, if not more, than when I was trading pre-market. And I get a little bit more sleep. So that's kind of been my theme, kind of just trading only between 9:30 and like 11 a.m.
Yeah.
And I
Mhm.
seem to just make as much as I was trading from 7 a.m. to 11.
That's
I
amazing.
think that makes a lot of sense.
I think I'm going to keep that up for the time being until the market is like really hot. Like a couple weeks ago when we had, or a couple months ago when we had GFI and top, I'm waking up at 7 a.m. because
Yeah,
I know I can get a really nice cushion before 9:30, and then
because
I
you're
can
going to get
use
paid
that to
for it.
risk for a big green day.
Yeah,
So until
that's
that
smart.
happens,
I
I'm going
think
to keep doing what I'm doing.
I've been thinking the last couple of days or so about, like, should I even be getting up for the market open? And I definitely will keep getting up. I get kind of stressed when I wake up past the market open. I was waking up at like 6:40, 6:45 my time for a little while last year, just because the market open had been such trash for such a long time that I
Yeah,
wanted
that's
to just
tight.
completely miss it. But yeah, like half the time, so I wake up 20 minutes before market open now, and half the time when I pop on, Ross is red or he's green. And it just doesn't seem like pre-market is giving any consistent opportunity lately.
Yeah.
And that's the same with the rest of the guys, rest of the people in the chat, in the community. Like some of them are red, some of them are green, but nothing really awesome happened that I missed. And then especially looking at my P&L chart, the last 2 weeks I was looking through this morning after doing another red to green day today, I'm pretty much making all of my money starting at like 10:20, 10:15, and then going
Yeah.
from there. Usually before then, I've been digging a little bit of a hole. So I'm just going to try to be more mindful of that. We're not in a hot market right now. There's definitely opportunities that are like actually pretty decent. I've been doing really pretty well lately, but it has not been easy. And I'm especially conscious that I'm going to be out of country for 3 weeks in 2 weeks, and just trying to like keep my head down and keep making steady gains through then, and then hopefully while I'm gone the market doesn't like suddenly heat up, but
The
we'll
market
see.
gods know when you're on holidays. I swear.
That wouldn't be the worst thing though. Like
No,
you
it's
get life
true.
gains too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
wouldn't, yeah, like if the market was hot for the open for a couple of weeks in June, and I can just hit like a nice trade right at the market open, that'd be cool too.
Yeah, one and done it, or just get a few trades in, at least
Yeah.
get like one front side or
Mhm.
that 15-minute move and then call it.
Yeah.
I love when I get those and I actually call it. It doesn't happen a lot, but it's nice. It's like, okay, boom, made like 1,000, let me go.
Yeah, exactly.
One sec.
Wow, there you go. CWBR.
Yeah,
Breaking
it's
highs.
running.
Oh,
Piece of crap.
can't trade this right now.
I was just gonna say, are you trading that now?
I don't think so. Not midday.
Wow,
I'll back
450
tomorrow.
basically. Well, after like 435, it didn't look back till 525. Oh, I'm so tempted. It is one of 2 stocks that I'm red on.
Yeah, I'm red on too.
Let's see. I might do it.
Go for it. If you think so, it's a good setup.
I'm in at 22. Small-ish size.
Maybe maybe I would look for
Got
I'm
some out
trading
at
it.
42 and 38.
If I'm trading it, I'm looking for the next red candle to buy a dip.
Come on. Just give me another little push up. I'm looking, so I had 1,000 shares, which is a kind of small position. I'm just looking, I'm at 300 left. I'm gonna just see if I can get out on another push. I'd like to see it push through
550.
40, 50. But okay, so there's a bid coming in. If it pushes through 50-ish, I'm gonna get the rest out. I'm just going to get out there because it should have gone by now. Made back a solid chunk.
Was somebody
though.
else sharing their screen? That's actually really nice.
First pullback after fresh breakout could be good setup.
Yeah, I'm curious about what it's doing here. Seems to be a lot of sellers at 40. I might want to get involved on a dip back under 5.
Yeah.
I think it would be hard to buy there.
Ooh, okay.
That's what I was looking for. But like I said, it would be hard to buy there because it's up at 580 1 second and then back to 550 the next second. It's just that kind of price action.
Yeah, and the last
50%
dip was
move.
all the way down there at 420.
That's what we were talking about. It was starting to flag out.
So the halt level is 596. That's kind of what I'm looking at now because I could imagine that it might squeeze to that.
We were talking about this, Alex, like right when we got on the podcast. We're like, yeah, CWBR can be one of these stocks before you know it. Midday, it's heading up.
So I took that trade from
10.
74 and I'm still holding half, looking
This is a
for,
strong breakout.
because now it looks like it's going to halt. So
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
Halts at
hit
610.
609. It tapped that on the ask and couldn't hold it. So there we go.
That's definitely
It's going to be the one. It's up 300%.
Can we halt?
Oh, alt level got moved.
626. So I'm
I have to trade this.
I got some nice moves on that. I'm still holding 30% from 574.
Looks like a weak halt.
Wow, that's insane. Great trade.
Weak halt.
Yeah, I went.
Oh, false halt.
Yeah, but halt level is still 626. We'll see if it moves up.
Yeah, it's a big pullback.
Ah, I didn't get filled on that dip.
So I went negative 450 to flat on my P&L on just CWBR on that.
That's great. We're doing like 2,000 shares.
Just 1,000 actually.
Yeah, that makes sense. Usually all size down as well, like late day.
Yeah, that's the thing is like I was at 2,066 and really conscious of that. Like I know that if I give $67 back, I'm gonna keep trading to get back above, and I really don't want
That's
that
just
to
a mind.
happen.
That's just a mind fuck. Then
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's so true. Once you start thinking about that P&L and you're like,
Yeah.
you've accepted it in your head, that's what
Yeah.
you're at. And your second you go below it, it really messes you up.
yep, it's like I got to make that
Especially-
$1 back, and then
Yeah.
before you know it,
Yeah.
you're down 20, and then you're down 100.
yep, exactly. Especially a nice round number like that, like 500, 1,000, 2,000.
Dude, it's a curse. I wish we didn't think like that. Oh my God.
I know. Yeah, you shouldn't. It's not a good thing. It doesn't matter.
50.
Yeah, it's so irrelevant, but it's so
I'm
yeah.
still holding just 200 from 574. I'm looking to see if this holds up and gets back over 6, and then I might add back.
I could see it crawl higher and try to for 6.5.
It's holding up. If it gets back over 6, I'm probably going to add. It's trying to. So there's 6 right to 618.
Nice pop there, 20 cents.
I thought it was going to pull back for more.
Let's see.
5 minutes
need to
about to
pull
go
back.
green. 5 minutes just went green.
33.
That was a nasty breakout though.
Not bad. I was in
All right,
90. I was in 98 out at 18.
I added at the wrong spot. I was just a little bit late. I added at 33 and I took like a 5-cent loss on that.
Get the dip.
Well, at least you didn't. At least you're not still holding.
No. Yeah, so I went negative 450 to just negative 90 in that move, which is good. It's definitely not done. Like obviously it has a lot of volume and volatility right now. So
Yeah, the volume's insane. Actually, it's really solid for a
solid volume.
$650 stock right now.
It held up on that false breakout really well. That's usually a good
dips
sign when someone's supporting that. That's what I mean, if it was weak, it would have came down to 5, 4, 8.
Any dip could be a great buy right now.
Bid
I
at
still want
90.
under 5.55-ish
Great.
for the dip.
Yeah, if it breaks like 567 on light volume, it could be a great dip.
I
At
try
previous
with, it's a
low.
little spready though, so I'm trying to just join the bid. Sometimes I'm not getting filled.
Yeah. That's the tough part. I gave back a little bit there. I got in at 592 because I saw a bid at 590 and then the bid kind of just pulled.
Yeah.
The 5 minutes kind of crawling a little bit low. If you look at the 5-minute chart, we really don't want to get to halfway point. That's when things get nasty. Oh, see, there's that
Yeah.
dip right below 69. That would have been a great entry. I'm not
Yeah.
seeing it now.
That was quick
I
though. You couldn't
saw
even get
that.
in.
Yeah, you would have had to put a limit order and then hope for a fill.
Yeah, it had to
which-
have been a limit, yeah.
There's a second opportunity though.
I think it goes lower.
See what
A lot of
happens if it
sellers here.
dips under 50 or to 50.
The setup feels too good to be true.
570. $570, come on. Yeah.
I heard it.
Nope. Didn't hold well there. I mean, it didn't break out there.
Yeah, so far those dips would have been perfect.
There goes
The
back
lowest-
up and
I'm waiting
back
for
down.
one more like capitulation candle here, then a reclaim.
Yeah, right. Because I don't think it's done. Like it's considering the move it just had, it's holding up. It's
Yeah.
holding up really
It's-
pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, light volume though so far on this green bounce, so like it could be, you might get that capitulation candle or quick pullback. I don't think this bounce is going to hold really. It might be able to have a fake out over 6. I don't know. I'm not too optimistic here. Then again, I don't know. We've been having great late day moves, so or late morning, so
Yeah.
anything's possible. Amazing action though. This would have been great just to put in a little starter when we were talking about it, when it was flagging
Mhm.
like this.
Yeah. I
But-
saw it curling up too.
That's the coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Seems like 570 is holding decently well. There's a seller at 580. See if it breaks over that. Now it looks like it's a hidden seller at 580. There's definitely someone in it who's like holding it down. It should have halted up. That was the first clue.
It was so extended though on that halt though. I don't know if it should have.
Yeah, I don't know why it
But,
didn't
but
hold
that's the
earlier.
thing though. That's when shorts are stopping out most,
Yeah, I guess.
covering.
Could be a break back over 6 here.
Honestly, anything shorting this on a new front side is so sketchy. But I guess you would hope for something like this,
Hmm.
where it just flushed.
I don't think I would buy high on this just because of the spreads and the bids drop.
The spreads are tough on it.
Yeah, you could be
Definitely.
down 10, 15 cents a
It's
share.
like you have to size it on the dip.
Yeah, I don't know why the spreads have been like 5-10 cents on it all day. Like, where are the market makers? They're doing a terrible job.
You had one job, to steal
Yeah.
retail money.
You had one job and you're doing it terribly. Yeah, I'm just trying to see if I can get one more on this. And I'm looking to take it with bigger size now that it's holding up. So I think it's going to dip down back towards like 560-ish again before it might go higher.
Did your famous bear trap?
maybe it would be more of an ABCD pattern, which I think makes sense.
Yeah.
So there's a bid at 570. Let's see if it holds. I am definitely looking to buy a dip, depending on how it acts. So there's 570 and 571. Some bids there. Do you see those on ThinkorSwim? They're not showing up. Or they're that, yeah,
The
they're
bids, yeah, I see them.
570 has a lot of orders.
I think it's
I
gonna
don't
come down to
trust it.
650 again.
It
Yeah,
just
I'm
shifted.
expecting that bid at 570 to pull and then dip down and then probably get back above it.
Yeah, 580. So there's a 10-cent spread between the big buyers and sellers.
Hmm.
Here we go.
So-
Looks like it might chip. Boom. Oh, ho, ho.
We'll fake out.
Those two fake outs, maybe. Here we go.
Yeah.
I really don't like the 5-minute setup. That's what's keeping me at bay. But it did.
All right,
bounce.
I'm in at 78. Actually, I'm in at 80. Not a very good fill.
Oh dang.
This is feeling real sketchy.
Yeah, it seemed pretty weak right there. We didn't like that.
Crazy, like that. It's almost a 6% candle. It's insane. It doesn't look so big.
No, $6.
There we go.
All right, so I got out. I got of that break even.
I'm still red in the stock.
To me, the 5-minute just doesn't look good.
I actually really like the 1 minute.
The 1 minute's not bad, yeah. I just don't like this kind of open 5-minute with a 9 EMA that's like super far away.
Yeah,
That's true. Yeah.
you might see that break at 6 and then a flush way back down.
I think that's probably true.
Could happen. Next,
This is the pivot though, 595-ish. So what does it want to do?
And again, I don't know.
I think it's a bad idea to buy on an up push,
Yeah, gotta buy in the dip, 100%.
even if it looks like it's about to break a pivot or go higher.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it could break and then the bids don't move out and move up, and then you're screwed.
That's something I've been noticing lately is a lot of bid weakness
yeah.
across the board.
Here we go. This could be good here. Capitulation and a reclaim, maybe.
Yeah, I'm in at 64.
Since it
Ready
didn't
to
break
stop out
6, I
quickly
think
if I need to.
we could see that reclaim again.
I'm flat for now. Back in 70.
If you were just
Out.
range trading this one, taking those 5-10 cents, you'd be up so much.
Yeah, it should be moving up at this point. I'm just losing like 1 cent here, 2 cents there. I've still made back a little portion from where I was down on it, at least.
Yeah, it's like a big winner and then many paper cuts.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like all of my pre-markets lately.
I think we'll see another
So-
move pass up through 6. I think so.
I do too. I think that we're going to see a move lower like now first.
No. Yeah, I think so.
But so I'm looking to see what happens if it dips and if it gets bought up. Because if it dips and gets bought up one more time, it should go back through highs, not through highs, but like through 6. And if it doesn't, then I think it's probably not worth trading anymore. So I'm watching this dip here. I'm in at 70.
Nice. There's some buyers. There's nothing holds.
Did you get out?
No, I got like 200 shares out. All right, so I'm back now down to $50 more red than when I started trading it.
Oh, Jesus.
For me, it's the 5 minute doesn't align with the 1 minute. There's no like real setup that I like, so I haven't touched it. I think you guys did a good job though buying that initial dips near the 9 EMA, but now it's kind of like in this no man's territory where
Yeah.
there's going to be a big move at one point.
I think
It
we might
has
see a
room down
candle down to
all the way
like
down to
525.
Yeah.
I want to see a dip under 550.
The 5 minute 9 EMA is moving up though. I think we'll see the 5 minute dip to the 9 EMA and then we could see a reclaim maybe.
Give me the dip here. Let's go down to like 540. No.
Not getting in here.
Oh, come on. Really? That's where you decide to go?
This price action would drive me crazy.
I'm not getting it in here. This is a high risk setup here.
It's looking interesting if it gets over and holds 580. But the bid isn't moving up over 580. It's just staying at 573.
Oh,
I'm long 583. Took some out. I'm out the rest. Made $80 on that.
quick.
Wow.
See, that's what I was
God
looking
damn
for.
it. I couldn't take that because of the flat bottom. I was waiting for that break down below the flat bottom.
I
Before
think
this.
we're going higher if it holds up here.
It held the
Looking
first
for one more
pullback.
dip.
It might still
I'm
flush
in at
down.
15.
You know, I have so little faith in this ticket.
Damn.
Jesus.
Yeah, I just took another 25-cent loss on it.
No. We should
that
wrap up here
sucks.
before Danny pulls off what he did last time.
I know. And then, but it's so frustrating. It's right back to where it was.
How many shares are you using?
Now I'm using 2,000.
It's gonna break this flat. It should break this flat bottom and wash out longs. That candle closed under 6.
Yeah. To be honest, I would have
Yes,
thought this thing
super
capitulated
frustrating.
already. It would have capitulated already.
Well, that's really unfortunate. I went plus 2,000 to plus 1,250.
So what are you like down 500 on CWBR? 400?
No, 1,200.
Oh, that's what you meant.
I was already down 450 on it. Got myself back to flat on it. And now I'm back to negative 1,200 on it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And you
Is
did
that
so
just
good
the
at first.
spread
Like
that kinda
this was the
screwed you?
original front side here that you nailed.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like lately we've been getting like 1 or 2 opportunities to nail the front side, and then you kind of have to leave it alone.
Yeah, you just get so screwed if you think that there's going to be any continuation. And even with
Yeah.
that pop back to 625, like that should have gone.
Yeah. I'm trading probably a little bit too scared with those setups, but I feel like I'm not in a like perfect flow state or even like over 70%. So I'm still just kind of walking away early.
Yeah. It's a good call.
Up 750 today. Not like a big green day, but just kind of nice little base hit green. Feels good.
Yeah, that's a solid day.
That is a good day, yeah.
Just yesterday I was down like 150, so kind of like a average of 350, I guess you could say right now this week. Nothing too crazy. $350 per day. Yeah, I don't
just
know.
don't think. I think because it didn't break down below that flat bottom, it just didn't have enough juice. The shorts just were not in for the breakdown.
Yeah.
It just didn't have enough juice to get all the way back up to the high. That's why I like to wait for
Yeah.
that capitulation and the reclaim.
Exactly. I like looking for that too.
Trading the range on this one would have actually really worked, but it's
20,000
really not a
short seller at
strategy
6 now.
that will pay over time, because you're always making those small wins and you're always risking that big sell-off.
Yeah, exactly. I don't like doing that either.
Me neither.
Range trading at the open though is good. I just buy every dip and I'm just green.
Yeah.
Most dips for the first like 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, when there's volume.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to start trying to do that.
But you have to be quick. You gotta just like, you can't really wait for the bigger move because it usually doesn't happen.
Right.
You just take
I
take your quick 10 or 20 cents.
I'm watching every open like a hawk, and I've definitely noticed that where, you know, it just pops down a little bit, pops up, pops back down, pops up.
Yeah.
It does it like, I don't know, for 30 seconds, then I'll pick a direction or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess Danny might keep trading here.
Yeah, I'm seeing because it keeps coming back up. Those shorts are gonna get blown out eventually if that keeps happening.
We can go ahead and probably wrap up the pot just so it doesn't go too long.
Yeah, sure.
But
Yeah,
it was a nice recap today. I learned a lot about platforms.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of good platform discussion and other discussion.
All right, guys, have a good trading week. I'll see you in the Discords.
Yep.
All right.
Sounds good.
Good luck on CWBR if you keep trading it, Danny.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'll see you guys later.
See ya.
All right. Take it easy.